Heroes Toy Reviews is not intended for children or anyone under the age of 17.
Ooh, wow. What am I doing here? Oh, that's right. It's Star Trek Month. And today, for Star Trek Month, we'll be reviewing Star Trek Generations Guinan. Today on Heroes Toy Reviews.
Hebro77 here, and welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. This is Hebro's Toy Review. But this is the 1983 Jump Jetpack. I just broke his crotch. What do you think about her? I was playing tennis
Hello and welcome to Hebro's Toy Reviews. I'm your host, Hebro77 here with yet another Star Trek toy, or action figure I should say. And this one comes from the movie Star Trek Generations. Now, I have reviewed Star Trek Generations action figures in the past. In fact, Captain Jean-Luc Picard is a nice shining example of that. But I have never had this Guinan before. Now, I don't know that if I reviewed this Guinan, give me 1 second here, but you can clearly see the difference in the packaging of the two. Let's get up a little closer. This is the Guinan from just the regular old show. And this is the one we'll be reviewing today. Sorry about the glare. This is Guinan from Star Trek Generations. So, with that being said, let me step back here now. With that being said, with no further ado, let's get down to the review. Decided to go with this space type background for this review, and as you can see, Guinan still in the package from Star Trek Generations comes with pretty much the same accessories as Guinan from the television show comes with. And as you may or may not notice, I actually took the accessories out of this one. But if you look at the back of the package, it shows you what those accessories are. The coffee mug, the wine glass, and the weird chess game they seem to play where you have different levels. Kind of an interesting concept, but I have the feeling that this is not going to be one that's going to be catching on in the future, as everything is going to be, well, as it is now, on computers. But still, I will give them an A for effort, even though that's not how you spell effort. Now, real briefly, we have this Guinan, the television show Guinan, out of the package as I don't have all of her accessories because I do use them for stop motion movies. But there is the coffee mug and there is the weird chess game that they play. So we will put this one on the side for now, as the review should be focused on this one. And as you can see, as far as I know, this is the only other variant of Guinan that there is. You have the one from the television show and this one, which shows totally different clothing, which congratulations to Playmates for doing this, because most of their figures look pretty much the same. For an example, here is the movie version of Captain Picard, and here is the television series version of Captain Picard. Yeah, I'm rifling through my stuff. And here is the television version of Captain Picard, which this is from I believe season, I'm going to say 5, where he wore this weird sports coat type of thing. And I think the reason for that is he was getting tired of doing what they call the Picard maneuver, where he would pull on his uniform like this and give it a tug. And I think also the uniform was sort of hurting his back. So he asked for this look for most of that season, but then they ditched it later on in upcoming seasons since then. Now the difference is between when Playmates did the action figures for the television show and the movie, is they put a lot more, let's say, effort and probably a lot more expense into the television series action figures than they did the movies, because the television series action figures, their elbows were bendable, the knees were bendable, they were adjustable, you could move them and stuff like that, whereas the movie versions of these were just stiff-armed figures. They didn't have any, you could not bend them at the elbows, you couldn't bend them at the knees. They didn't have the features. I'll give you another example of this was Lieutenant Commander Data. Let's take the card out of the shot. Here is movie version Data and television version Data. Now, not only did they give this version of Data the movable elbows and movable knee joints, but they also gave him special panels where as you moved them, you could see like his little circuits and stuff like that. He had one in the back and one on his arm. Where did it go? I do not see it now. I think it's over on his... Yes, there it is. And one here. Now this one was a little... There we go. You could see, let's get the camera on it. You could see that one lifted. It would have been a lot nicer had they put one like in the back of his head or somewhere in his face like they had on the TV show. And the other difference is they had peg holes on the sides of their legs, and they would attach these little holders or little pockets, as it were, so that it could hold weapons, communicators, tricorders, whatnot. The movie figures, however, didn't have any of these features, and as I said, they were stiff-armed and stiff-legged. Now let's get back to movie feature Guinan. Now, I'm not going to take this one out of the package because she's not rare, but kind of hard to come by. So we're going to leave her in the package for now. But as you can see, there are no, if you look closely, there are no bendable joints in the arms or legs. Whereas where this one, you can clearly see the bendable joints. Well, I guess she doesn't have any. Oh yeah, her legs do too. Her legs bend at the knees at 90 degrees, as the man says. But I do like the different color palettes. Like this is just a straight up red color palette. I wish they would have came out with different variants of Guinan for the TV show. Now they did come out with one other variant for the TV show, which I think I did in the review. It was a Dixon Hill review, but it was this one where it's holodeck Dixon Hill Guinan, and she came with a little fur thing around her neck, but I don't want to, I can't find that at the moment. But this one was also very flexible. Had the joints, did not have them in the legs, however, but did have them very bendable in her arms. Now, I do wish, like I said, they would have maybe came out with different versions of this, and maybe they did, but I have not yet come across any of them. So as you all know, Guinan was the bartender of 10 Forward, a newly added addition to the Enterprise D, which had not been in the previous season. It started in season 2 of Star Trek The Next Generation. And she would give advice, and also she was a alien being of unknown origin. Like, we don't know exactly what she was, but there was an episode, and it might have been the second or third episode, where Q had showed up and he had warned the crew to stay away from this woman, but of course that was just him having a grudge against her, and her having a grudge against him, and apparently their paths had met before, and she had warned the crew, if they had any sense whatsoever, that they would stay away from Q, which I don't think is even possible, since he has unlimited powers and so forth and so on. But anyhow, she kind of became the secondary counselor for the crew, and actually, in my opinion, did a better job and had more to do than Counselor Deanna Troi. Sorry, Deanna, but it is true. And for the most part, was credited as a special guest star until about season 3, where she had a permanent spot on the show. And here you can see on the back of the card back, you can see all the different figures that were out for that year. You had Commander Deanna Troi, which by the time the original series, or not original series, but the time the series had ended, she had earned her commander badge, so that she would be able to officially pilot the ship in case the captain, commander, and even Data were not available. Now, who in the heck was piloting the ship while all of these people were on away missions is beyond me. But anyway, and then she sported her green uniform. So it shows in the back here all the different figures and things that you can get. And I have not reviewed this yet, but I do have this. And actually, it was through one of these that I did discover they had this, and then I got it through eBay. So you see on the back here, you see all her different accessories, which are pretty much the same as, what did I do with it? Pretty much the same as the other card back. They repackaged her original accessories from the series, and I believe this says on here. Now, I have 3 of these, so there are different number stocks on each of these. So we will put that one away for now, and basically that pretty much does it for this review. But I do want to point out that this is longer, and maybe she might be a bit taller than the original. I will not know. Like I said, I'm not going to take her out of the package. I really don't have a reason to. I use this one for most of the stop motion movies that I make, and this one would just seem sort of out of place right now. So that pretty much does it for this review. If you do want to get this figure, she's, well, not that hard to find on eBay, although there may be limited quantities, sorry. So I don't know about anything about that, but she does make an excellent addition to all your Star Trek Generations figures. And by the way, each Star Trek Generations figures does come with a mini poster, so that's pretty nice too. Well, that does it for this review And Star Trek month is slowly coming to a close, as today is, I believe, the 20th as of... No, wait. Yes. We did miss Monday, so we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday left. So stay tuned for those, and then I think we have maybe one more week, and then the big reveal. What's the big reveal, you ask me? Well, I think I already said it in the very first episode of Star Trek Month, but for those of you that didn't see that, this will be a surprise. So, it's now time to go, but before we go, I need to let you know that knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. We'll see you next time. I have my communication badge this time. Yes, one to beam up directly to the bridge. I need to talk to the captain. Goodbye, everybody.